Support for Radio Friends comes from OsteoStrong. Improvements in bone density, strength, and power can be achieved by weekly 5-minute no-sweat sessions on their 4-spectrum machines. These isometric robotic machines safely emulate high-impact loading on different parts of the skeletal system, which stimulates activity in bone-building cells. Balance and agility can be improved by 2-minute sessions on vibration plates. Every session is supervised by a trained coach. Learn more on Facebook or call to set up a complimentary wellness assessment and session. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Thursday, January the 20th. Always a pleasure to have you with us today. And we're about 2/3 of the way through the month of January, but the first of the year. We're going to talk about good dental health. Let's start the year off right. And we have Dr. Philip Batson and Dr. Elizabeth Abe with us from Columbia Healthy Smiles. Good to have both of you here, the husband and wife team.
Thanks for having us.
of dentists. This is the new year. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions. What's the most important resolution that people can make for good dental health?
Just to have a good, solid home care routine. And what we recommend, brushing 2 times a day for 2 minutes each time, preferably in the morning and preferably in the evening, last thing you do before you go to bed. Floss nightly, and if they need to feel like they incorporate a mouth rinse or anything like that with it, that can be a good addition to it as well. But just having a good, solid routine and making sure it is that 2 minutes each time, not cutting yourself short on time.
Right. Now, if you have an electric toothbrush, it pretty much times it for you, that 2 minutes. It tells you when the 2 minutes is up. If people do not have electric toothbrushes, is that a good investment to make as far as good dental health? Or is brushing the old-fashioned way just by hand just as good?
You can brush with a manual toothbrush just as well, but I do think that an electric toothbrush makes things easier. The way you brush and the technique you use also plays a factor into how healthy you keep your gums and how well you're brushing.
So. Yeah, I started using an electric toothbrush, I guess it was 8 or 9 years ago. And your father was my dentist at the time before you took over. And he was telling me, boy, electric toothbrushes are really good for you because they get places where you don't get and it force you to brush longer. And it's true. My mouth just felt, when I started using an electric toothbrush, it felt cleaner than before. Plus, using a water pick gets out gunk that you don't even realize is there. Doesn't a water pick get out more than flossing, or is flossing still the best thing to do?
I think they work differently, but a water pick can definitely get out a lot of that stuff between your teeth, underneath the gums, and it also depends on the anatomy of your teeth and how your teeth are spacing and all of that.
Yeah.
So.
And if patients have like implants or bridges or additional work, the water pick can come in handy to clean in different areas that might be harder to reach with traditional flossing and things like that. And the same thing with the electric toothbrush. They can clean in areas that might be harder to reach with the manual, or to accommodate for maybe a person's lack of proper technique with a manual toothbrush. The electric toothbrush can kind of make up for that and allow for more thorough cleaning without them having to focus on having that ideal technique with the manual toothbrush.
Right. Now, I'm not trying to sell water picks or electric toothbrushes, but I use both of them. And if one night I don't use the water pick, my mouth just doesn't feel as clean. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't feel as tingly. Yep. When you finish water picking and brushing with that electric toothbrush, your mouth just feels like it's alive and vibrant. And I guess that's because it's massaging the gums too.
And it's just probably getting to places where with the manual and more thorough, probably just a more thorough clean for you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the next thing that we need to think about as far as maybe what we eat and how we eat?
diet plays a big factor. I know New Year, people always make dietary, resolutions, or a lot of people do for, whether they want to lose weight or feel better. And part of that goes with your oral health. Look at the amount of, obviously sugars and sweets you're eating or drinking, soda, those sweet, sugary, drinks, energy drinks, even what you're adding to your coffees or teas have a big factor if you're adding things with sugar to them. Also, the acidity in your diet. If you have a highly acidic diet, coffee is an acidic drink as much as people love their coffee, or high fruit diet, just, that can add to potential sensitivity issues. So just being aware of what's in your diet as well can also help improve your oral health.
You mentioned something 3 or 4 months ago that after you eat something sweet, if you can't brush immediately, just take a gulp of water and swish it around in your mouth and spit it out. What is that doing?
That's breaking up the sugars, breaking up the food, things that might adhere and stick to the teeth. And so it's just, it's making sure that those sugars don't stick to the tooth, stay on the tooth, because there's anything that's staying stuck to the tooth, bacteria is going to come love to, feast on.
So it boils down to, if you're working and you can't brush it at lunchtime and you've had a big meal and you've had dessert, just go into the bathroom by yourself, take a gulp of water, swish it around in your mouth, spit it out, and that's helping to break up any bacteria that's
Absolutely,
there.
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else in general that we should think about that it doesn't pop into our heads?
I think it's just reevaluating if you're on a good schedule with your dentist office.
I was going to bring that up.
If a lot of people were, I know even, we always said 2020 and 2021 as people were kind of got off schedule due to the pandemic and things, but just kind of reevaluate if you've kind of been less than regular, get back in, have a professional look things over, and just hopefully give you a clean bill of health. But also if there's something that they can find and preventatively take care of too, that was staying ahead of the game instead of being. We always like to be proactive instead of reactive with potential issues.
It's important to have your teeth cleaned at least 2 times a year, whether you realize it or not. Even if you're brushing every day and you're flossing every day and you're water picking every day, you still can't get to the parts of the teeth that a dental hygienist can.
Absolutely.
In cleaning it and getting those little tiny nooks and crevices there. So every 6 months with a dental, seeing your professional dentist is an important thing to do to keep your mouth healthy. And the thing that I know I've read about many times, if you've got an infection in your mouth and it's not taken care of, it can spread through the rest of your body. And the dentist is one of the first lines of defense there.
Yes, I think that is something we forget, is that our oral health is connected to the rest of our body as well. So making sure that our mouth stays healthy is important.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Philip and Elizabeth. Happy New Year to both of you.
Thank you.
If you want more information, you can give them a call at
573-875-7071.
Okay, that's Columbia Healthy Smiles, and they'll keep you smiling and keep us smiling too. Have yourself a good day. Something you'd like to hear or see, I'd love to hear from you. Pepper P, Missouri.edu. Bye-bye.